If you are a Malaysian or an economic student, you are coming to the right place. In this video, I will practically be using macroeconomic perspective to walk you through how our Malaysia government come up with mitigation to elevate the slow economic growth during this COVID-19 pandemic. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you to my UMT supervisor, Prof. Dr. Azura, for her consultation and make this video possible. Due to the unprecedented outbreak of COVID-19 followed by the dramatic price drop in crude oil, some people might have the same thought as me, which is how is the government intervention come into play to elevate the current macroeconomic issue? Let me introduce you the following three terms: recession, slump, and depression. They are all happen when the country GDP growth are said to be low or no or even negative for a period of time. What makes the term different are the period of how long does the recession last. A low growth of GDP will cause economic falls into recession and followed by slump and depression. Basically, it is like a vicious cycle. And now, due to the COVID-19, our Malaysia local economy are said to be semi-halt at the moment because most of the non-essential businesses are called to be halt in order to control the spreading of virus. As a result, the non-essential cluster has been ordered to stay home and our Malaysia producing GDP will be under capacity and slowly we will get into recession. Let me show you the implication on a graph. On the horizontal axis, we have country production. Let's focus the production at YN and Y. Suppose our production are naturally able to producing at YN level, but due to the MCO order, our productions falls back from YN to Y. This meaning that our economy are now not producing at the full horsepower or not fully utilizing our labor force to produce good, and therefore there is a recession. To mitigate this situation, government come out with fiscal policy. For example, bantuan prihatin, bayaran sokso 600 ringgit for those they are losing their job, and tax reduction. With the extra money, we will then spend those money in the market and increase the production in the economy. So those methods are so-called the expansionary fiscal policy, which by increasing government spending to improve liquidity in the economy. To better understand the policy effect in our economy, we will now look at the IS curve before the fiscal policy. In economics, we often deal with assumption. In our case, we will assume it is an open economics model with uncertainties due to the implementation of lockdown in other countries. From that, we will let the export and import as unchanged or ceteris paribus. The implementation of government fiscal policy will increase liquidity in the economy, and it will increase the demand for goods and services, which is the IS curve. And now the IS curve will shift from left to the right and resulting the economy production to increase from Y to YN, and that is the recession recovery. On the other hand, in the labor force market, the government also try to help local businesses by providing SME economic relief package to reduce unemployment rate. It is very important because if we want our economy production to produce at YN, we must maintain employment rate at YN. The amount of human capital that's still in the labor force are the key to determine how quickly recession recovery will take. That is why, for the sake of economic growth, the country leaders all around the world, they want to reopen their economy as soon as possible. According to the latest update from Department of Statistics Malaysia on 14 April, it shows before MCO lockdown, which is in February, the numbers of employment are at 15.03 million, where unemployment rate are at 3.3%. Unemployment rate are expecting will be going up in the coming month, and expecting the SME simulation package will able to minimize the impact of lockdown over the unemployment rate. For more information, you can head on to Department of Statistics Malaysia or Bank Negara Malaysia to find out more. After fiscal policy, let's move on to monetary policy. For Malaysia case, our overnight interest rate has been lowered to 2.5% on the 3rd of March before the MCO taking place. In theory, the decrease in interest rate increase the money supply in the economy, and it will lead to GDP to grow. But however, at this uncertainties time, low nominal interest rate may discourage the investor to invest because they have to consider their profit from their investment, which is the future real interest rate. If we compare our economy with other big economy countries, our Malaysia economy is considered relatively small economy. Our economy cannot depend only on consumption. That is why we need investor and stock market. In my humble opinion, during economy uncertainties, if happen interest rates are close to zero boundaries, we have to avoid the usage of monetary policy. Because we have already witnessed the mistake made by Japan and US in the history. The failing of monetary policy will causing the economy falls into a long recession, and worst of all, the liquidity trap, where the monetary policy eventually will become powerless. During this pandemic, some of you might not agree the extensions of MCO because of no income. But let's think in a more holistic way. The economy are interdependent. Our economy is now facing a short-term recession. We as a worker, we are the drive of the economic growth. If we want to recover from recession, the economy need production. If we fall sick, the economy production Y will further falls back, and it will take longer time to recover from recession. So, as a Malaysian, how we can make our economy better off? Simple, just stay at home. Take a good care of yourself until the lockdown are being lifted by the government. Even if after MCO being lifted, practice social distancing and avoid unnecessary outing are the key to fight the bounce back of the virus. After the MCO, everyone can be the frontrunners for the economy.